This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM channel 158. Gil Alexander, Kelly Midland on this Thursday. Zach and Crack on a Thursday.
Crack return.
The return of the Crack.
Once again.
I believe those were the lyrics. Bill Krackenberg.
I even know that one.
What's that?
I said once again. I even know that one.
You do know.
Return back, yeah.
Mark Morrison, by the way, the artist. I think he was immediately sent to jail after that became a number one hit. He had some outstanding something. Oh yeah, it's the whole thing.
Look up the history on that one. Okay.
Bill Krackenberger, unscripted later on the show. Zack Cohen before that, little NBA and tennis talk. Perhaps he has some tennis plays around the globe. I have a couple coming up here on a choppy hardcourt season for me. Zach will do that. We'll talk NFL awards. We'll do Are We Sure? And I don't want to bury the headline because Crack's always the headline on a Crack Day. But Joe Pita, Part 2, MLB season preview. Even I don't really know what's coming up today. I know there's a Mets 2026 profile, but there's also some 2025 case studies that he wants to talk about as well. We'll do that with Joe Pita. I made a couple bets here literally in the last 15 minutes before the show. Would you like to hear
Baseball?
them? Would you like to hear them? Here they go.
Baseball bets?
No.
Oh, okay.
One, college basketball. Just bet UConn.
Kansas. Oh, no.
Kansas.
You know what? Good for you and Jim Root, though, for being the first human beings I've heard name a team other than the University of Florida in the past, 7 weeks.
Florida would be, if I was going to bet someone else, it would be Florida.
I get it.
But in the same way that I got Indiana for the college football title at 10-1, not, as sexy a number as others did, it sure felt good when the 10-1 cashed. UConn at 16-1 after they just, and I really wish I had done this before yesterday, but of course I wasn't heady about it. But they just crushed St. John's yesterday, 72-40. 40, snapping the Red Storm's 13-game winning streak. Terrace Reed Jr., 20 points, 11 boards, 6 blocks. They held St. John's to 20% shooting. Is that good? 20%?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm also trying to miss their final 24 field goal attempts.
24. Final 24.
Final 24.
You can watch basketball from here to eternity and not see that again, perhaps.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's different, high school level kind of thing, where one team is just horrific. But this was a bet that I was going to make anyway. If you remember with Jim Root on early in the week, I was like, okay, if one of these teams that isn't currently qualifying in the formula is going to win it all, who is it? And I said, bang, UConn. And he did as well. UConn will qualify, I would imagine, by the next time we do this formula next week in 3.0. So UConn 72, St. John's 40. So UConn 16-1 because I couldn't wait any longer. Just want to have that in pocket. And then literally seconds before we came on air, a few bankroll building Love is Blind bets on Kalshi, Kelly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. For those who are down, these are all no's. No's to get married. No.
Hold on. I need to pull this up. Go ahead.
No.
I'm going to do the same thing as the odds. I'm not even going to bet these,
right.
but I just want to see them.
All
this
right.
is great.
Mike, who is dating Emma, 85% no.
I'm just going to go to Love is Blind, I'm guessing?
Love is Blind married. Not Love is Blind engaged. Remember, they're all engaged.
Who will get married?
Yeah. Mike, 85%. He's dating Emma. Devontae, 90% dating Brittany. That dude, no chance that guy's getting married.
We're betting no's. We're betting no's.
They're all no's.
Okay, yeah.
These are all just bankroll builders for small profit. It's going to take 1 week.
Oh, yeah. This is a good call. This is still, in my opinion, the best reason for Kalshi.
The best reason. Whenever you have a defined timeline, right? Like, is there going to be an 8.0 earthquake by the end of the month?
Right.
Now, I don't know if that one exists this month, but it's February 26th. Oh, at least we only have a couple more days for it, right? And then it cash. So this is just 1 week of Love is Blind.
It's so sad how much bigger this is than some of the sports things
because
because
incredible.
They have their own profile pictures next to them.
Yes.
We can't even get team logos and stuff with sports.
Yeah, I love that you go into sports mode.
I'm in sports fan mode.
And then Ashley, 90% no with that serial pathological liar Alex. If she gets married to him, not only is love blind, it's also deaf. She's just looking the other way. She's listening the other way. She wants to be married so bad.
See, they put the profile pictures, but they're not big enough for me to actually see them.
I noticed that as well. That's why you got to be a viewer.
Now I have to go to the web. I'm sure there's a website with the cast of characters.
There is.
Yeah.
Mike Devontae Ashley. No.
Mike.
Your Love is Blind betting plays. There you go. All right. We have a, first of all, let's do the tennis picks first. Tennis picks. Yesterday, we split the ones on the show for a very small profit, 2+ money plays early in the morning. And then I added 2 late. They both lost late. So it's been a little choppy. We got 2 plays on the women's side today again. These in Austin or Merida. I can't even keep track anymore where these are, because this is just the strange week before the Sunshine Double. Sunshine Double coming up, which is Indian Wells and Miami, 2 hard courts. Indian Wells, slow hard courts. Miami, much faster hard courts. But those are both 1,000s for both men and women. So this is just sort of the week before the storm, if you will. I am on 2 plays. Kimberly Burrell, play number 1. Kimberly Burrell going up against
Austin.
She's in Austin, going up against Caroline Dolehide. Burrell's a -128 favorite, and right now, what is her price? She is
118 in DraftKings.
You can get better. Yeah, you get about 10 cents better than I got her at last night. And then Zeynep Sanmez, the Turk, +108 versus Ann Lee. That one is in Merida, I believe. Zeynep Sanmez right now, she's -106, so I got a much better number last night. I wouldn't play it any higher than -110. Let's put it that way. So you get a better price on Burrell, a worse price on Sanmez, but those are the 2 plays in tennis for me today. I remember this happening with hard courts. The tennis season is basically hard courts, then it goes to clay, then it goes to grass real briefly, and back to hard courts. That's generally the whole thing. Hard courts is always the one we usually kill on. But I remember last year, the early hard court one didn't go as well either. The late one, we remember when Wimbledon was ending to the end of the season, was destroyed. But this happened last year, too, with the early hard courts. So maybe the data hasn't manifested quite in the same way it used to.
If I'm counting right, there are a dozen tennis tournaments live in action right now over at DraftKings. That is.
Yeah. Well, some of them are challengers.
Yeah.
And some of them are...
A lot of ITFs in there.
A lot of 125 in there. But there's really 5 main events going on. But time zones this week all across the time zones right now, globally. From Dubai to Austin, Texas, Acapulco, Merida, Santiago, Chile for the clay court tournament, which I'm not even bothering with right now. Not going to deal because there's too many matches. So anyway, those are the 2 tennis plays. And then we have a brain dead parlay on after a night where we did not play a brain dead parlay in the NBA. Let's do it tonight. Not a full slate, but a much more robust slate. We hit the first one we did 2 days ago, which got 78 cents on the dollar. This one's only 50 cents on the dollar. But you know what? NBA Brain Dead Parlay, we're just going to add them up. Today, in the National Basketball Association, we'll flash up the stats, too, here, the updated stats on these tanking teams. But tonight's is Charlotte, San Antonio, and Atlanta. Charlotte is taking on the Indiana Pacers. Oh, pardon, what did I say? Hornets, Spurs, Hawks. What did I say? Okay. Yeah, Charlotte, San Antonio, Atlanta. Hornets
I did the same thing yesterday.
Yeah, Hornets are taking on the Pacers. Spurs are taking on the Brooklyn Nets. And the Hawks are taking on the Wizards. So that pays almost exactly 50 cents on the dollar. And again, with these books, right, they're aware this is going on. So they're going to make this more difficult for us. And they're going to jack up some of these money lines. But that's not going to stop us because these teams don't care. What do you think about last night in the NBA? What do you think about Detroit and OKC? OKC without SGA and injuries mounting.
Yeah, man. Isaiah Joe leaves too. And this is another one. Complete cosign on this, Gil, because I have 2 of these legs in something that I played. We'll get to it a little bit as well. Hawks, I think the only thing I would say about them is just Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, both questionable. But we talked about that yesterday or the other day when we got that timing question, right? When's the best time to make these open, close, somewhere in between? There's going to be injury information a lot that you might not have a full grasp on yet. But, yeah, man, Isaiah Joe leaving for the Thunder. That's big. Pistons get back at it. That was a Did you see the numbers moving all day yesterday on that game? Like the Thunder didn't.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah. So that was the
number really mattered last night.
Very much where you got that at. I know there was a lot of people running to lay it with the Pistons, and man, all day I just kept like even if all these Thunder players don't play, I'm like, the Thunder are catching 8.5, 9.5, 10.5 points now. Pistons win by 8. So yeah, absolutely depends on
then
where
there was also the Cleveland number that crashed yesterday too. Although that didn't matter in the end what the number was there.
Yeah, that was nice. Me and Danny were sitting downstairs when that all came down. And I was like, I'll take 8.5 of the Bucks right now. Thank you.
Do we have the latest tanking trustworthiness tiers with the latest updated the streaks? Do we have that? Yeah, here it is. The top category, we kind of nailed that one. We don't even need to repeat the not trustworthy at all. Pelicans don't have any reason to tank as their pick gets conveyed to the Hawks. Hornets too good at basketball to be considered a tanking team, and the Bucks keep winning. They won 8 of 10.
I think those two you just got to move off the graphic. Hill.
Yes, that's what I just said.
I think we got to remove those completely.
That's done off the graphic.
Bucks might make the playoffs. Hornets might make it out of the play-in.
Shouldn't even be part of this discussion anymore. Somewhat trustworthy. Pacers have lost 8 of 10. Remember, we are fading them in a money line situation with the Hornets tonight. Wizards have lost 16 of 22. Remember, the Wizards, they're actually 6-7 in their last 13. But I think Atlanta can take care of them tonight. And then trustworthy, though, though not against other tanking teams, the Grizzlies have lost 13 of 16. The Nets have lost 23 of 28. We are fading the Nets with the Spurs tonight. And then who I consider the extremely trustworthy, the Bulls, Kings, Mavs, and Jazz. The Bulls have lost 10 in a row, 13 of 14. The Kings, 17 of 18. The Mavs, 10 of 12, although the Mavs have won their last 2.
Yeah, don't worry. Cooper Flagg on the bench again tonight. So Mavericks will mess around and win another game.
And the Jazz, supreme takers, maybe not by the lost 15 of 19, but basically by their actions during games. Despite a $500,000 fine, they've lost 15 of 19.
Once again, the individual paths that each team is taking is just fantastic. I heard Brian Windhorst say, and Nick Whalen brought it up about the Grizzlies yesterday. Windhorst called it a masterclass in taking with what Memphis is doing. It's like, hey, here's your hard minute limits for like eight of you.
We'll come back. Joe Pita, Bill Krackomberger, Zack Cohen, and more coming up.
There is no other college basketball betting analyst quite like it. His passion is unparalleled. He handicaps every game, every day, all season long. Sleep is not an option for him. He stays fresh by running 12 miles a day, every day, while doing his podcast and answering your tweets. He is Greg Hoops Peterson.
Tame the madness of March by catching Greg Peterson on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Thursday's episode of Money Moves, we've got a good one. We keep playing ball. Our next team up, the San Francisco Giants out in the Bay Area. Can they get to the postseason? We'll tell you why they can't. Jensen Lewis, our professional out there on the diamond, will join us as well. We'll get some of his best bets in the Major League Baseball futures markets. And Greg Hoops Peterson will be on the case as we look at some NCAA bubble teams. So don't miss it. It's Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to bet smarter? Start with Smarter Insights. Right now, you can check out Greg Peterson's college basketball best bets, Michigan State Purdue preview, and Steve Makinen's Duramax Texas Grand Prix simulation. Wow. Later today, you can check out Tyler Shoemaker's men's and women's college basketball projections, Zack Cohen's NBA picks, Jonathan Davis's NHL best bets. Right now, you can get Visa Pro access through May 1st for just $29.99 with our Hoops Mania special. Sign up today at VSiN.com/subscribe. We brought up that whole, off the Olympics, all these players with Jake Hahn earlier in the week. I was like, hey, okay, Vegas has the most players that played in the Olympics, or at least they had the most that ended up on both the USA and Canada team. Is this the thing? Vegas Golden Knights win last night, first game back. So I'm glad I didn't dip my toe into that. Yeah. The NBA tanking, much more reliable.
I think it would take a lot to convince me and you to swing over to an NHL side for a regular season game.
Yes,
and I was
maybe we're not the guys.
Even I sheepishly brought it up right into the show yesterday. It's like, well, I guess if you have more confidence than we do about one of these NHL scenarios, you could consider that with your tanking parlay. But yeah, not something I did. Not something I'm going to do.
We get tweet speed of the book. Montreal Max, our buddy started at Stardust Book. He says, are we getting the band back together for our unscripted Thursday with Crack at noon Eastern? Yes, we is. You see this from Paulie68? Brock Bowers.
I don't know. I just sent this to Danny to confirm that is actually a real thing.
Oh, yeah, because you never know what's AI, what's not.
Right. I mean, that could just be photoshopped. I don't even know.
But you know what? Well, first of all, what we're talking about is that Brock Bowers is,
great for the radio.
What would we say, follically challenged?
Yeah.
As a young man.
Yeah.
And so there's a picture, I don't know if this is real, of him going to, Paulie68 says, going to Turkey for the old stitch and weave. You know what? Good for him if he did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good for him if he did.
Whatever makes you feel better about yourself.
Absolutely. He's too young for that. Tronsky.
And when you got a ton of money, it makes things a little easier.
It's amazing what you care about at 25, what you should not care about at 55, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with him. Tronsky, John Osher. Hey, Gil, I have a hard take on hyphenated last names. Well, this is interesting. Where'd this come from? Wondering where you fall on this. My take is every couple that thinks they're honoring family and tradition by holding on to both last names is supremely selfish. Suppose your kid wants the same triple names. It's a very good point by Tronsky. I don't know where that came from.
Tronsky, need to talk, man? Like, hit me up in the DMs.
That's right.
It feels like you're going through something, dude.
But now, keep in mind, there's some cultural things, right? And like in Spain, you honor it by using both last names. But he's talking about American hyphens, I guess. Southern Capper. Wasn't expecting Love is Blind spoilers when turning into Gil this fine morning. There's not spoilers. I don't know anything. Those are just bets. I don't know who's getting married, who's not.
I was really hoping Tronsky was going with how do you feel about the hyphenated first name, like our friend John Eric Sullivan, who's running the Miami Dolphins now.
Isn't there a little part of you, when you say that name, that just winces a little bit?
Yeah, of course. It irritates me, but like there might be a very good reason. I'm going to give him a break for now, Gil, but I don't love it. I don't love it.
See what Danny Burmett is doing with our brain dead parlays? He's trying to get a better price. He's saying take all three favorites to win by 1.5. Get the parlay down to minus 131. See, people always want to get frisky with these things.
Hey, man.
Danny, you do you.
You do you, yeah. I mean, Gil's going to keep making them. He'll keep tracking them, whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Eli E. Now, Kelly and I we sit here and we can prattle on for hours and days.
Just wait until you got to this. I knew this was coming at some point.
Eli E. just wants to know one thing. He goes, when's the $5 parlay segment with Chris and Darnell? That's all we can do. Actually, that's all you want to know.
This does lead me to something, actually, because I hopped on Twitter this morning and I saw a headline for an ESPN article that I could not believe this was a real quote. Retweeted it, and Nick Whalen immediately responds to me. He's like, I had to double check it was a real quote. DeAndre Ayton this is from an ESPN article with Dave McMenamin, and this is just talking about some of his struggles with the Lakers and how he's fitting in. Quote, they're trying to make me Clint Capella. I'm not Clint Capella. I'm just going to leave it at that, the quote. You can read the whole story. You can find out more, but it's the DeAndre Ayton.
Meaning I'm better than Clint Capella?
I guess.
Yeah.
And, because you're... Well, if we're talking the Clint Capella of the same age that you are, DeAndre Ayton, Believe me, the Lakers would love for you to be a better defender, a better rebounder, and a better lob threat for Luka Doncic. And if I'm assuming you're specifically talking about stop trying to make me into that. I'm here to score.
Right.
What do you think?
That's what it sounds like.
What did you think you were signing up for with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James on the roster? Anyways, I sent this article to Chris Foster this morning. It was like, well, is it Chris and Darnell? I was like, sounds like there's a prop bet. Chris
Foster's entire parlay strategy, as inspired by Darnell Glenn, wait for a scandal, bet against the scandal. Bet on the player who was scandalized.
Yeah, or was in the headlines, right? And the other one I threw to them because I turned on ESPN. I could not believe how much I heard this being talked about yesterday. Was the end of that Lakers game with Luka Doncic passing up an open three to get the ball to LeBron. Does he not have the confidence? What's wrong with Luka Doncic? So I think Luka over on your threes, DeAndre Ayton over on your points today. If you're going with the Darnell Chris theory, that's the one.
Jonte Porter, banned for life by the NBA for gambling in 2024. Remember that? Made $400,000 a year, but was manipulating his props. He pled guilty to a related federal charge, planning to play for an upstart pro basketball league, the Seattle Superhawks, a member of the newly recreated United States Basketball League. So there's that.
You know, the first thing I did before I even got to that second part of where he was going to be playing was, are there betting lines for this league?
Right.
Because that would just be comical, right? But no, they haven't even started yet, so I couldn't find anything. Pascal Siakam downgraded doubtful tonight for the Indiana Pacers.
And the Raiders want 2 first-round picks and a player from Max Crosby, the old Micah Parsons haul, if you will. Would you trade 2 first-round picks and a player for Max Crosby?
No.
You would not?
No. I would not give up what the Packers gave up for Micah Parsons for Max Crosby.
Because of simply his age?
I think it's too much. Yeah, I was just going to look that up. 28, he's going to be 29 when we start next season. That's part of it. But he's not as good of a player as Micah Parsons.
But he's not young.
Yeah,
right.
Micah Parsons is one of the most important defensive players in the NFL. I mean, if Myles Garrett wasn't out there, I would make that next leap to the best player, defensive player.
I thought you were going to say because Max Crosby's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. For your taste.
No, I think he's a great pass rusher. I think he will be a valued asset by whatever team gets him. And there are plenty of 100%. Teams.
I mean, say what you will about the Raiders, they got 2 things. They got Brock Bowers, they got Max Crosby. And they're phenomenal.
It's the same thing like when we discussed Trey Hendrickson, right? Like, he's great. He's not Micah Parsons. Nope. There's very few that are.
That's right. Even Mr. Terry McLaurin, I was like, hey, you want to make that straight up trade? Remember that came up last year? Sure, I'll do it for Micah. Cognizant Classic update. How you doing?
Not great so far, but I don't have a lot of guys out there yet.
Not great, Bob.
Updated leaderboard. Kevin Streelman, Nico Echevarria, and Kevin Yu, your leaders at 4 under par, all 3 of them through 11 holes on the golf course. Let's see where my guys are. Sam Ryder, even par through 13, so that's exciting. Shane Lowry, even par through 11. Keith Mitchell, who I bet a first-round leader on, even par through 10. So I don't think he's going to take that home for me. That's all my guys that are out there. So my guys are playing par golf right now.
Okay, that's good.
No, Nikolai Højgaard's 1 under. That's big. Not par golf.
No. Colin Murphy, you aren't comfortable including the Blazers or Pelicans in the Brain Dead parlay today. I included them and did a round robin by 2s and 3s in case one of them burns me. Good alternative to parlaying in case one of the teams loses, you won't lose your shirt. Well, round robin's a different story. But just in terms of the Brain Dead parlay, I was not comfortable, to answer the question. I was not comfortable including the Denny Avdia-less Portland Trailblazers.
They were feisty the other night without him.
They are.
They're Shaden Sharp, too. They're getting thin with players, that's for sure.
I let the Warriors won big the other night, but they don't have Steph, so I didn't feel comfortable playing them either the other night. And I'm just keeping that policy with the Blazers against the Bulls tonight. What was the other one? The Pelicans, you said? Well, the Pelicans, again, was it the Pelicans, he said? Maybe.
Yeah, Pelicans.
The Pelicans against the Jazz. Well, 2 reasons I'm not playing that. It's 2 tanking teams playing each other. Excuse me. It's the Pelicans trying to win against the Jazz who are tanking, but the Pelicans are just bad at basketball, period. So even though they have no incentive to lose, it's not like I'm racing to play them.
Yeah, they don't have control of their first-round pick for next year, so they're kind of never going to be included in this conversation.
Well, no, but I understand what he's saying. So if they're not included, would you play them against the tanking Jazz? But
I'm sorry, I misheard that.
But I'm not. I don't have enough confidence in them as a basketball team to play them anyway.
Yes, I agree. I did look at it on Open. I think it was think it was like 1 point that it opened at. Now we're out to like 4.5, 5.5. Yeah, 1.5. Pelicans opened up as a favorite. I was looking at it hard then. DeJounte Murray back for the Pelicans. 13 months removed from an Achilles. Just worth bringing up for one guy in Boston that we're going to be tracking here coming up, who is on a much shorter timeline if he does return. Well, he's about at 10 months.
10 months.
Yep. Yeah. He's about at
10 months is reasonable. Even I would have said, okay, 10 months, sure. It's just that people, like, once it happens and it's 10 months, they're like, see, I told you. No, you didn't tell me. You thought it was going to be 6 months or 7 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that I ended up on liking straight. If you want to lay points with them tonight, the Lakers. I do like the Lakers going into Phoenix. I know it's just joking about some of the props with them, but I do like the Lakers side tonight. I ended up just doing money line, and I combined it with Hornets and Spurs, which I think are like the most no-brainers of no-brainers to include. I might end up laying the points with the Hornets, too. I think that is, they could roll past the Pacers tonight.
Did our buddy lay the points with the Hornets?
Yeah.
He did. Our buddy. One of our basketball guys. Coming back, Zack Cohen on the NBA and tennis next.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin. Do you recoil when people say Nevada, by the way?
No.
No, doesn't bother you?
No, because you and I are from here, and I guess it's not something we care about as much.
Well, I said Nevada for a long time, and then Chrissy, my mishpucha, Chrissy Andrews, finally was like, Gil. He's like, you lived here long enough.
I got yelled at like in week 2 by Matt Humans.
Matt Humans, though, acts like he got here with Bugsy Siegel.
He was doing a good job of trying to get me acclimated to the city. That's the way I took it.
That's how Chrissy tried to do it.
But yeah, I'm not like I mean I hear it now, right?
Yeah.
Like I hear it when people say Nevada. I'm like,
that's what I mean.
Really, right?
That's what I mean. Just
I don't correct them immediately.
Zack Cohen joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, to talk some NBA and tennis with us. He, of course, part of the whole glue that holds this operation together, and I mean that. You can follow him on Twitter at BettingOnX, and he joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. Zach, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing very well. You have any tennis plays left today for folks?
Yeah, so I'm going to need Jakub Menchik to beat Talon Greek Sport to close out a 2-leg parlay that I posted to VSiN.com last night. But something that I have for this evening that I have to throw on the Pro Picks page shortly is Weibing Wu at -149 to beat Flavio Cavalli. And that's just one where it's been a weird tournament in Acapulco, but Cavalli has not looked good since the start of the 2026 season. This is a player that has kind of always been a little bit shaky with his serve. He has a lot of firepower from the baseline, but the serve has been a problem this season. He's been a little bit off from the back of the court. And I do think that Wu is a player that has been, very talented all throughout his career, but injuries have gotten the better of him. But he's finding something here in this tournament, and I do think he's going to win this one. And also, if you kind of go over to our VSiN tennis betting splits, you'll see that this is one where, a majority of the betting public is on Cavalli, but you see Weibing Wu is a pretty big favorite.
The issue with Flavio Cavalli for me is he is the player currently whose numbers least reflect his play. So he had this great soar last year, and then he sort of dipped, and now he's back to being good. And so the numbers aren't capturing this kind of roller coaster stretch he's having right now. Before we move on to the NBA, I just want to ask you this because I think we've talked about this on the podcast, and we will do an Indian Wells podcast, me, you, and Drew. Hopefully we can work it out time-wise next week. It's going to be tough between the draw and the beginning of the tournament. It's such a small window, but we'll try to grab it. But I'm curious about this because I don't think we've talked about it on the radio side, which is you do stuff for Tennis Channel still, or have you stopped doing that? You still doing stuff for them?
I'm doing like a little bit, not nearly as much as I used to be doing, but still have the connection a little bit. Yeah.
All right, I got to ask you a question. What is it about tennis bettors? And I don't think this is going to be different. The American sports fan probably won't believe this, but it is my belief that tennis bettors globally are the worst human beings when it comes to betting of any sport there is. They cannot stop harassing players when they lose bets. What do you make of that? Is it because the players are, it's an individual sport, and so they become easy targets? Half of them are women, so they feel in a misogynistic way that they can almost go after them even harder. Like, what is that? Because am I correct in saying that the Tennis Channel is aware of this and has kind of backed off its blitz of doing gambling on the network kind of because of this?
Yeah, I don't know if that had anything to do with them kind of backing off gambling as much, but it definitely is the worst sport with this. I think that the individual nature of it definitely lends itself to that. I think that people are very entitled also. They just think that these players should be caring as much as they do about every single tournament. The reality is that it is a really long season. These players can't possibly get up for every single match the same way they do at a slam or, a 1,000. And there's going to be some bad losses here and there. And people just can't seem to accept that. And because it's a one-on-one sport, they just go and they say whatever they want to the player after losses.
Incredible.
And it's disgusting. I mean, like after Jessica Pegula had a loss, not too long after losing her dog, and people were like, glad your dog died. It's awful.
And Kelly's always worried about her state of mind as well.
That's right.
Pegula.
Worried about her finances.
The best is Mon-Fri, who got on. They were killing him because he lost a match, and he got on and made a video in his French accent in English. He's like,
Gail
Mon-Fri. He was like, Tell me who is the dumb one. I am a 39-year-old has-been, and you're betting on me. Like that kind of thing. So he went back after them. So great. I don't know if he said has-been, but he basically said 39 years old. What are you doing? Old man, I think he said. All right, to the NBA. What did you land on today?
I have a few picks that I really like. The Magic are one of them. I grabbed this at plus 118 last night. You could do a little bit better than I did, but I do think this is a spot that is pretty favorable for Orlando. If you just kind of look at the rest situations for both of these teams, Houston's playing a third game in 4 nights, second leg of a back-to-back. A lot of those have been blowouts, so maybe not, all 3 games in 4 days are created equal, but I do think this is a team that should have somewhat tired legs. And if you just kind of break things down for this season to the last 10 games, there really isn't that big of a gap between these teams. Both are 6-4. Orlando's actually been back to being a top 5 defensive team in the league in the last 10 games. And just overall, I think that I like what I'm seeing out of the Magic now that it's, again, another period of time where they don't have both Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero on the floor together. Clearly, this team is more comfortable with playing just one of them and not both.
So the Matt, you agree with that?
Yeah, I know. I think that's what we're seeing, but I think how good can they really be without both of them, right, Zach? I've got questions about that. I think that they are getting more comfortable right now. This game's been interesting. It was easy for me to skip over, but the line movement I think has been interesting. Opening at like 1.5, 2 on the Houston side. We're out to like 3, and that's after getting the injury reports coming in, and it looks like Men Thompson's questionable, Dorian Finney-Smith questionable. Suggs questionable on the other side, but yeah, just interesting movement in this game so far.
Clippers 6-point dog at home against the T-Wolves. You're playing this a couple ways.
Yeah, I have the Clippers plus 5.5. I also took a little bit of plus 185 on the money line. I'm taking a leap of faith and hoping that Kawhi Leonard will be out there. He's questionable tonight with an ankle sprain, but I don't really get why. He played on Sunday. That was the last time they played. They've had 3 full days of rest, and then they don't play again until Sunday this week. So there's just no real reason that he wouldn't play this game unless you're really dealing with something that might be a little bit more serious than they're letting on. But I think Kawhi is going to be out there, and I do think this is a game that the Clippers can win outright. I mean, if you look at what they've done since the trade deadline, they're 4-3 with a top 10 defensive rating. I think that Benedict Matherin's looked really good. I think that overall the team is getting solid play from the center position. And with Kawhi playing like the best player in the world, I would expect them to be in this game against Minnesota late. The Timberwolves are a team that I'm very high on in terms of the future. I think that they have a chance of representing the Western Conference in the NBA Finals, maybe a smaller chance than some of the other teams, but a slight chance. But they are very difficult to trust during the regular season. They seem to lose games out of nowhere that they have no business losing, and I just don't trust them to be laying points in a road game against a solid team.
I just want to seize on one little sentence fragment that you used there, just because I'm curious about this. You said Kawhi playing like the best player in the world. When all is said and done with his career, like, is he going to, like, when they do the next, I guess it'll be the 100-year anniversary, the 100 best players in the NBA, are we up to 100 yet? I don't think we are. Is he?
No, I don't think so.
Is he going to be part of that? Okay. Is he absolutely going to be part of the best 100 players of all time?
I think so. I mean, I think he's probably closer to a top 20 player than just being, just in the top 100. I mean, he's got 2 NBA Finals MVPs, 1 NBA titles with 2 different teams. And I think that everybody just knows that based on watching him and seeing the numbers he's put up, he has been one of the best players of all time. It's just a matter of, like, he hasn't played enough regular season games to accumulate the stats of other legends.
Well, so this is my point. So let whatever your top, pick a number where he is, right? Whether 20, 100, whatever in between. What could have been, right, if he was a different player? I wonder how the average scribe would describe his career. It's just a very interesting one where, for as much success as he's had, as many moments or stretches where he's been the best player in the world, it's also been like, can we even rely on him to even show up, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting. I don't know what the equivalent is for any other sport.
I find it right now, what's going on right now with him, I find beyond fascinating because it's factual. He's been one of the best players in the association for the past couple months, yet ownership, front office for the Clippers still decided, you know what? We don't know that we can rely on this guy and this team that we have built up. We're going to send out Harden and Zubac and kind of start focusing to our future. So, like, that tells you everything you need to know, right, about the confidence they had in that team assembled. So it really is a big what if, just like the 76ers and one of their players.
I want to squeeze in 2 more here. You have a prop in the Sixers Heat game?
Yeah, I have a Tyrese Maxey over 7.5 assists at plus 112. It looks like Joel Embiid's going to play tonight. he's listed as probable. I would expect to see him out there. And the last 11 games that Maxey has played with Embiid, he's averaging 8.3 assists per game. He's had 8+ assists in 8 of those 11 games. And this is still a Miami team that is number 1 in the league in pace of play. So I think it's going to be up and down and kind of favorable for a player like Maxey that can, use his speed to get into the lane pretty much at will. And the last time he faced Miami, he only had 6 assists, but he had 15 potential assists in that game. So a little bit better shooting luck from his teammates, and he should get to this number.
Kelly referring to Embiid, of course, when moments ago.
Which I'm also just sitting here thinking now, like, why play this game, Joel? Like, this is going to be a track meet, like Zach's talking about. This sounds exhausting. Sit out this one, Joel. Wait for the next one.
Zach, I'm putting you on the spot. 10 seconds. If you had to bet one NBA award and one bet in one of them, what is it right now?
I'd still take Keontae George because I'm miserable looking in advance and he's going to lose it. I think he should be the most improved player. Don't think it should be close.
All right. Thank you, sir. Zack Cohen, everybody. Thank you, Zach. Betting on X is where you can find him. NFL awards. Let's take a look at those next on A Numbers Game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Prop Points takes you to the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports with hosts Jeff Erickson and Nick Whalen of RotoWire.
He's the one that's the trendiest. He's the one that's going the earliest of the three, and in some leagues I've seen him go as early as the second round.
The one thing that stood out to me here is, value-wise, I would take a look at Dorian Finney-Smith over 2.5 boards.
They'll help you find the connection between the two and give you expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on the numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander. Kelly Bidley, everybody. Over 100 pounds down. What is it now? 100 and what?
10-ish? Something like that?
110-ish.
Something like that.
You see this story from Montreal Max pointing out the story from Jim Koenigsberger? Because, we were talking about the Niners practice facility being next to the whatever it was, the electromagnetic field, and everybody trying to, correlate the Niners' injuries with their practice location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's clearly the Sacramento has a problem with that. Salt Lake City, Washington, D.C.
All the teams that are injured. Yeah. Well, the Philadelphia Inquirer found dangerous chemicals in the AstroTurf of the now demolished Veterans Stadium. 6 Phillies who played on that turf, Tug McGraw, Darren Dalton, John Vukovich, John Oates, Ken Brett, and David West, have died of a rare and aggressive brain cancer.
Oh, my God.
All 6 died in their 40s or 50s, roughly 3 times the rate of the average adult population. Even more alarming was their mutual diagnosis of glioblastoma. By the way, the Phillies sold pieces of that turf in sealed 4x4 bags, and the Inquirer then purchased 4 of those on eBay, and they analyzed those samples. By 2 separate labs, they found 16 types of dangerous chemicals in the turf, referred to as forever chemicals, because they don't break down and can last in the human body for years. What a story. Jeez.
It's terrifying.
Not to bring things down or anything, but...
I mean, like that's one of those fields that always looked like it was just, spray painted on.
Oh, it was like playing on concrete,
right,
first of all.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin snapped his neck on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Burkhart. Yo, GM, sir, I appreciate your plays you provide. I totally missed the second tennis play. Could you repeat? I can't stand when my boss interrupts my company time, or my betting on company time. Who does she think she is? Good luck today. Second one was Zeynep Sonmez. Sonmez, last name. First name Zeynep, Kelly. Zeynep Sonmez versus Ann Lee.
That's a hell of a name.
3 Jack H 3131. Gil, I'm guilty of reaching out to tennis players after wins and losses. Paula Badosa has not responded to anything. Serious note. When are these bettors going to realize nobody made them make the bet? Oh, it's incredible. James Sott. Oh, my God. Tennis Twitter is easily the worst gambling base ever. Even fans, quote unquote, sometimes are way worse on their favorite players. Sean Truax does not like the play on Orlando. He says Orlando coming off a West Coast trip. They don't like that.
It looked very correctly lined to me tonight.
And Dan Groeschel, one of my books gifted me a bonus bet, and I want to have a bit of fun with it. What's the play for Chris Foster today? Oh, boy.
Well, Chris, work it up, buddy.
Oh, boy. Oh, and Colin Murphy. What do we think about Jacob deGrom as a comp for Kawhi? Did he win a title but was injured, but when healthy, one of the best in the sport? Yeah, but the difference is that Kawhi's injuries are in question, right? Like taking all
or just the load management nights, right?
The load management stuff, right? Like Jacob deGrom didn't voluntarily remove himself from action. By the way, I think Jacob deGrom could have a 200 strikeout year. We'll get into some of those MLB pitching season longs tomorrow on the show.
Dude, people got to stop tweeting me haircut things. So I've spent 20 minutes on air today trying to research whether these hair things are real or not. I got a
If you were wondering what Kelly does while we're doing this,
like prime time. Is this Mark Davis one real? Did he finally get a haircut?
No, stop it. He didn't do anything.
Okay,
that's his signature.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah. NFL. Never too early to talk NFL. Season just ended, by the way. I believe so.
Yeah.
Regular season MVP, Josh Allen, plus 550. Your short shot. Lamar Jackson, plus 650. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, two-headed monster that have dominated this category, with the exception of this past year, but the years before that, let's say, trading these awards. Jackson, 2-time winner. Allen, 1-time winner. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert, all at 10-1. We don't know when Mahomes will return. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, always fashionable in these markets. Drake May, MVP runner-up, 11-1. Much harder schedule, remember, this year that he'll be facing. Dak Prescott, 13-1. Matthew Stafford, the reigning MVP, 14-1. Ooh, Matthew Stafford barely won. Caleb's 14-1. Jordan Love's 15-1. Jaden, 2 years removed from Rookie of the Year, 20-1. So is Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. All quarterbacks. All of them. Without exception.
You know, we did win totals yesterday, and we talked about, whether good time to make a bet now, wait, that sort of thing. Some of these markets just don't even. Like, we're talking how many guys before we get to a 20-1? Like, the pricing feels so short. Unless you're
10
looking at
is your answer.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like, the pricing on everybody else feels ridiculously short.
You'd want to bet Mahomes, but not at 10-1. Give me more. Shop around.
I would say that about every name beyond
Burrow,
Lamar Jackson.
Herbert, May.
I mean, Matthew Stafford, I got a 45-1 last year. He's 14. You can't even consider. I would like, Gil, and maybe this happens. I would like to flirt around with a Caleb Williams ticket in this market. There's no way in hell I'm betting it at 14-1.
And I wouldn't do Jaden at 20, coming off it, right? Off a year where he didn't even play, really. By the way, can we just say about Dak, though? Is there any path where Dak wins this anymore? Haven't we seen enough of that?
You know what? I love that you brought him up because we can flip this right over to Offensive Player of the Year, and this is I'm not going to rule out, man. I made that bet last year. Dak, Joe Burrow. It's like, as long as these teams keep showing who they are year after year of, hey, we're fine. We're going to blitz you on offense. We have no defense. I think those guys, and whether it's not really a quarterback award anymore, I think they're going to be in the conversation at least late into the year. So, I mean, these are, if I'm looking for bomb numbers in Offensive Player of the Year, 100-1 Dak Prescott. I made that same bet in the season last year. Now, that's the same point. I made that same bet in season last year. But what did I know in season? In season, I knew what the Cowboys team was looking like, and they were a force on offense and had absolutely no defense. I think if you're using that same type of reasoning, you can't go make that kind of bet right now. Same with Joe Burrow. You got to see how the rest of the team's going to round out.
Jahmyr Gibbs plus 750 is the short shot to win Offensive Player of the Year. Bijan and Jamar Chase both 9-1. Christian McCaffrey, who won this award, correct? Yeah? Did he? I can't remember anymore. 10-1. Puka 10-1. And Jackson Smith and Jigba 11-1. No, Jackson Smith and Jigba won it, right? 11-1.
Comeback.
So, right, Christian McCaffrey won Comeback Player of the Year. But remember, Christian McCaffrey was very close to winning this one as well, and we pointed that out. So the 4 top candidates from this past year are in the top 6 here, which is to say JSN, Puka, McCaffrey, and Bijan. The only other 2 there, Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamar Chase.
Who rightfully belong, right?
All of whom. All of those 6 guys belong at the top there. In fact, I know there's going to be some folks who would say Jonathan Taylor still, maybe. Derrick Henry, if you're into a running back break, another big running back. Yeah, I'm not.
Derrick, I mean, we're getting up there.
We're getting
age
up there
now, right? With him, 20-1. This is what, I know what I just said about the quarterbacks. Outside of that, though, doesn't this really feel like this is going to be Gibbs, Robinson, Chase? I guess I can't. I guess I have to include McCaffrey still. Puka, and then, I don't really understand why JSN, I'm going to stop the list there. Those 6 guys at the top, it still feels like they command so much of the win equity for this award.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Those 6, right? Those 6 are impenetrable in terms of how you feel about these players right at this very moment.
You know what's stupid? What's stupid about some of these awards, right, is the JSN. I don't really know how he's not your favorite after we saw what he did a year ago, besides the fact that he won the award. Right, it's like he won, so we can't make him the betting favorite. We got to move him down further down the board.
He won, just for memory's sake, because I wanted to look this up. JSN won it with 272 points and 14 first-place votes. McCaffrey was second with 223 and 12 first-place votes. So it was actually way closer, because remember, the whole thing was, can a guy win both comeback and this? He almost did.
Yeah.
Puka was third in the end with 170 points and 8 first-place votes, and then it was Bijan fourth with 168 points and 6 first-place votes. Drake May was fifth. If you're wondering what quarterback finished highest, it was the MVP runner-up, Drake May, who finished fifth.
Which is also something to be aware of, though, right? Yes. It's the cop-out MVP. I'm going to I like both these guys. Let me put Stafford MVP. I'll put the other guy Offensive Player of the Year. And if you have, a running quarterback, right? We've seen that in the past. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, those guys could end up in that area as well.
But I think the takeaway, and we said this when the voting came out, I think the notion of a guy winning 2 awards is very possible if it's comeback and another bigger award, but that a quarterback still isn't really legit. It's just going to be, I'm going to put them second or third for Offensive Player of the Year.
We'll get into Coach of the Year tomorrow because I think that's a more interesting conversation because we can kind of compare it to the Khalif TA trends. The Defensive Player of the Year.
I was going to say, is there anything to say about this?
This is hilarious, right? Like, this is DraftKings being like, here you go. We don't know. Bet away if you want.
We don't know.
Here's 4 really good defensive players we're all going to put at 8-1, and then here's another 4 we're going to put at 12-1.
And then we'll throw